Hey everyone, it's Shorts Remix here. Today we're tackling a topic that's been on everyone's minds lately, inflation. Specifically, how to make sure your hard-earned money doesn't get eaten away by rising prices. You see it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, pretty much everywhere you spend money. It's easy to feel helpless, but the good news is there are things you can do to protect yourself. In this video, I'm going to share 5 essential tips to help you inflation-proof your finances in 2024 and beyond. So buckle up, hit that like button, and let's get started. Before we jump into the tips, let's take a second to understand what we're dealing with here. Inflation, in the simplest terms, is when prices go up over time. Think of it like this. Last year, you could buy a gallon of milk for, say, $3. But this year, that same gallon of milk might cost you $3.50. That's inflation in action. Now, a little bit of inflation is normal. It's actually a sign of a healthy economy. But when inflation gets out of control, like we've seen recently, it can really erode your purchasing power. That means the money you have today buys less and less over time. If your money is just sitting in a savings account earning next to nothing in interest, it's actually losing value every single day thanks to inflation. That's why it's so important to be proactive and find ways to make your money work harder for you. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in the rest of this video. All right, let's dive into our first tip for inflation-proofing your finances: creating a realistic budget. Think of your budget like a roadmap for your money. It helps you track where your money is going, identify areas where you might be overspending, and make sure you're prioritizing your financial goals. The first step is to get real about your income and expenses. Track every dollar that comes in and goes out for at least a month. You can use a budgeting app, a spreadsheet, or even just a good old-fashioned notebook. Once you have a clear picture of your spending habits, it's time to start looking for areas where you can cut back. For example, are you subscribed to a bunch of streaming services you barely use? Could you downgrade your cable package or negotiate a better rate on your cell phone bill? These small changes can add up to big savings over time. Remember, the goal here isn't to live like a monk. It's about finding a balance between enjoying your money today and making sure you're setting yourself up for a secure financial future. Our next tip is all about building an emergency fund. This is something I talk about a lot, but it's especially important in times of high inflation. An emergency fund is basically a stash of cash that you can tap into if, well, an emergency happens. Think unexpected job loss, medical bills, car repairs, that kind of thing. Having this safety net means you won't have to rely on credit cards or go into debt if something unexpected comes up. So, how much should you aim to save in your emergency fund? A good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses set aside. Start by setting aside a small amount each month, even if it's just $50 or $100, and gradually increase it over time. Trust me, having a well-stocked emergency fund is one of the best things you can do for your financial health, especially in an inflationary environment. It's there to give you peace of mind and help you weather any storm. All right, let's move on to tip number 3, investing wisely. Now, I know investing can seem intimidating, especially if you're new to it, but the truth is, it's one of the most powerful tools you have for building wealth and staying ahead of inflation. When you invest, you're essentially putting your money to work for you, giving it the potential to grow at a rate that outpaces inflation. Now, there are a ton of different investment options out there, from stocks and bonds to real estate and even things like cryptocurrency. The key is to find investments that align with your risk tolerance, time horizon, and financial goals. If you're not sure where to start, there are plenty of resources available to help you learn the basics of investing. You can check out online courses, read books, or even consult with a financial advisor. Even if you can only invest a small amount each month, the power of compound interest over time can make a huge difference. Remember, investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's a long game, and the key is to stay consistent and stay informed. For our 4th tip, let's talk about cutting unnecessary expenses. Start by taking a close look at your monthly bills. Are there any subscriptions or memberships you're not using? Could you downgrade your cable package or find a cheaper cell phone plan? Negotiate those rates, people. Next, think about your shopping habits. Do you tend to overspend on groceries or clothes? Could you make coffee at home instead of hitting up Starbucks every morning? Remember, every dollar you save is a dollar you can put towards your financial goals, whether it's paying down debt, building your emergency fund, or investing for the future. And here's a bonus tip. Don't be afraid to negotiate. You can often get a better deal on everything from your cable bill to your car insurance just by asking. So, there you have it. 5 essential tips to help you inflation-proof your finances in 2024 and beyond. Remember, it's all about being proactive, making smart choices with your money, and staying focused on your long-term goals. Don't let inflation get the best of you. By taking control of your finances and implementing these strategies, you can weather the storm and come out ahead. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more financial tips and tricks. And as always, thanks for watching. Share your own tips in the comments below. Thanks for watching.